Now, let's break it down with President George W. Bush. Every billboard, every corner post, or every commercial, right, they saying something about President George W. Bush. Every time you see something, it's something about President George W. Bush. Now, let's go back to Timothy McVeigh. Bush slave Timothy McVeigh. Give the people what they want. Well, look, there's a part in Habakkuk where God said, the man, judge a man that's more righteous than he. I didn't say this. God said this. He said, the man, judge a man more righteous than he. God said this. So, Timothy McVeigh, let's see, was he more righteous than George W. Bush? Let's see what we can't take and lie to ourselves. No, we got a foolish mind. It's a foolish-minded man to sit and lie to himself. When the evidence comes out and paint the picture and you can see the picture, you got a foolish mind if you take and lie to yourself. Yeah? Timothy McVeigh said this he was getting revenge of President Clinton killing them people in Waco, Texas, burning them up live, and you know them people had to be screaming and crying while they were burning up in that building. FBI did. Terry McVeigh went blew the building up. Would the things have been different had they not took and burnt these people up? My God. Would Timothy McVeigh would be not guilty of a crime? We have to look at these standards and look at these before we pass judgment upon another person who is sitting in there being the judge. Yeah? Bush said, give people what they want, kill them. They kill them. But here, on the second hand, President George W. Bush sent in a sovereign nation and took down a man who was called Saddam Hussein, who was guilty of no crime, and they slaughtered the man. And the people dressed in black where you didn't know their identity told Saddam Hussein, go straight to hell. I don't care who they sent in there to kill him. They shouldn't have told the man to go straight to hell. That showed you the sinister mindset in his captivity. God sent me here as a prophet to tell this wicked man about his deed, and I'm going to tell him about it because there's more to come in this segment of prophecy. He told him to go straight to hell. One man, they said he popped a long rope to him and popped his head clean off his body. Bringing the people's in judgment. And the United States of America had ransom placed on the 50 members of Saddam Hussein regime, paying a ransom, a blood money to their own people to tell where these people were and to take and slaughter these people. I'm telling you this. This is what I was sitting there listening to the news and was saying, news media. So they got a lot of some of these people with the price of money. Saddam Hussein's two sons, I believe, and a grandson was slaughtered by American forces. I mean, for what cause? You placed that beside of Timothy McVeigh. Timothy McVeigh said he was getting revenge because these people had killed all of these people in Waco, Texas by President Clinton and the FBI. But here it is, he was getting revenge and he was executed, which I didn't see no fault in. But when we come down here to this part during the Bush area, they done went in and created a war of fabrication, saying the man had weapons of mass destruction. They knew that man didn't have no weapons of mass destruction because I wrote it in my first book that Jesus, the God the Father, had said the man didn't have no weapons of mass destruction. The United States over there getting into that place for taking these parts for oil. How in the world could I write something in the book and it come true? And this man lied and said his lawyers told him the man had weapons of destruction. And how come he didn't read the Bible? I read the Bible and put it in there before they slaughtered this man. And even I told them, I wrote a letter to Congress, Democrat, and Republican, and told them Saddam Hussein was Job, and this man was not supposed to be killed. But this man held out to his line in integrity and said the man had a weapon of mass destruction. And I wrote to the Congress and the Democrat and Republican. That didn't give me no reason. But I know Mitt Romney used some of my testimony in his campaign. I know this. It took a bold stand for me to write Congress, Democrat or Republican, being a man and unknown, and take a risk of me and my freedom be taken from me, and told them the man was guilty of no crime, but yet they went on and killed this man. This is what's upset me. But he gonna tell, so well, I talked to my lawyer, and my lawyer said I had to depend on you to lie. I'm gonna tell you this, because I wrote to you and told you the man was not he didn't have no weapons of mass destruction. Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell sit there and they testified that the man had this. Well, how do they know? But he used our black people as a propaganda tool to justify what he had did. But he knew in the beginning that they didn't have this. And there was people in the Congress told him that they didn't have it. But he said up there, they said, well, I had to go by what not. My lawyer said, you got to believe what's right. Don't sit up there and tell that on your lawyer, because we voted you in to be our commander-in-chief. We didn't vote your lawyers in to be our commander-in-chief. Not your Secretary of State in to be our commander-in-chief. They supposed to be living by your rules and regulations, not you by their rules and regulations. But he taken and used this as an excuse to create a genocide against our people. And he used a lie, said he would be acting out the will of his lawyer, or Colin Powell, or Condoleezza Rice, to carry out his hate of genocide. And it's there written all in the Bible. I'm telling you this. I'm taking you this place because I got to take you to another place in the Bible where God sent me here and he told me to speak to these people. I got to take you to this part. But now he's all over the news media. Rick Sanchez is gone, one of the best news leaders of the people that speak these things. He's gone. But they create us with filth so we could sit in and listen at this filth that go out there, these propagandas and these lies. I don't want to hear the things that have been a witness to my eye. If you sit there saying you ask your lawyer, we don't know what you ask your lawyers. But I can judge between you and Timothy McVeigh. You're going to kill millions and millions of the peoples in the Middle East while you done took another life of another man. I'm telling you that. Man can't speak to you, but we suppose as a God-given Christian mind, we got to speak in order for the man that you take out. And when you lay this body down, there got to be another man with his integrity and faith so intertwined with the will of God until he get out and speak. And we got to bring you down to the pits by the thing that we speak, because you have transgressed the law of Moses and the word of the living God.